Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. We have a Lady Gaga Bachelor crossover today. That's right. Carly Waddell from Bachelor in Paradise said Lady Gaga drove her crazy in college. I'm going to play that clip as she spoke on Jason Tartick's podcast, Trading Secrets, and then I've got 5 other clips for you from that episode. So we'll just go a little Spark Notes version. You can go check out the full thing on Jason's YouTube. His podcast is absolutely crushing it. The quality's good. He's upped his game with microphones and cameras. I mean, he's doing the right things to grow into a very successful podcast outside the Bachelor world, and it's always good when companies like 30milezone.com, TMZ, are here to cover what was said. Let's just play this clip, and then we'll judge afterwards if Carly's being a hater or if her gripe is justified.
Also, I was one of those 60 with Lady Gaga. We were the 2 people that dropped out
Wait,
at the
no
same
way.
time.
So you were like in class with Lady Gaga? Like you know Lady Gaga?
Well, yes, but then she was Stephanie.
Okay, what was Stephanie like in class?
I was not a fan.
No way.
This is why. Because, I mean,
She's successful.
she's so talented. But I have okay, so like,
Let it out, Carly.
this is,
There's
okay,
some tension
here we
in
go.
there.
Trading secrets. Here we go. Here's a secret. So Stephanie used to, during lunch, she would play on the piano. There's a piano because you would eat just in like a dance studio.
Yeah.
And there was a piano, and she would sit at the piano every single day and just play and sing Wicked at the top of her lungs every day.
Okay.
And we were all just trying to eat lunch.
It's like break time.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I understand that they were trying to eat lunch, but it's Lady Gaga. Now, this is where we have the term squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? Lady Gaga, she makes noise. She makes moves. She's Lady effing Gaga. And at the time, she was Stephanie, and she has since really kind of like made a name for herself. Have you heard of her? Anyway, I just wanted to share. This is Lady Gaga singing Shallow at the table read here. So I'm just going to share this with you. This is the table read for A Star is Born. She's, of course, mainly a pop star, but dabbling in the acting world. And this is her belting out the song during the table read for Star is Born.
The deep end, watch as I dive in. I never meet the ground.
There's Bradley Cooper.
Crash through the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now.
We go wide. So there it is, folks, right? There's a bunch of very rich people, Sam Elliott, Bradley Cooper, all fawning over Lady Gaga. Okay, you know, it's the law that you have to be creative, you have to be talented, but then you have to put in a ton of time. Now, coming from the stand-up world in New York City, there's plenty of actually places I've performed that Lady Gaga cut her teeth. I believe like the Bitter End and other locations there, right down in the Village. And she's and not to say Carly didn't cut her teeth, but it's a fun little story, even though, of course, Lady Gaga won't be responding from her mansion in Malibu.
It was break time, and we were all like forced to listen to her. And yes, was she good? Of course. She was great. But I just wanted to eat my sandwich, you know?
Interesting.
And so I used to just eat in the hallway. Because she was driving me crazy.
She's kind of, if you like compare it to people back home that are like working in an office setting or like maybe they're a nurse or a teacher. It's like that person who's just like so extra. Like
She's so
always
extra.
putting in the extra hour, always like, like that's how
she
Stephanie
would wear these
was.
really tight leotards, and she had really big boobs back then. And her boobs are just like coming out.
Was she noticeably in your?
so
was she like
ridiculous.
noticeably though, like way better than everybody? Like
No.
she wasn't like Wayne Gretzky to hockey, LeBron
No.
to basketball. She wasn't in that group. That person.
No, I wouldn't say. I mean, she was one of the good ones, but
Yeah.
I would never be like she was so above.
Interesting.
And that's what's interesting, you know, music, your voice it's a muscle, right? Your vocal cords can be trained and they can be improved upon. But at the same time, you usually that comes from some place of talent. So she worked really, really, really hard, like a lot of people do. And a lot of people work really hard and don't quite, quote unquote, make it. Now, Carly's interesting because, and again, she got roasted through the coals here for being a hater. People commenting very funny things. Being a hater, even 2 decades later, is a different type type of loser. You literally got a free Lady Gaga concert in witness history. But that just goes to show, like, if you're in musical theater, you're not going to be impressed by everyone else's voice because it's like your competition. With me in stand-up comedy, other comics aren't always impressed with your humor. It's kind of like, all right, whatever. Like, we're all in the same group. You're not trying to impress your peers. You're trying to impress your fans. And that's what's important to remember with a lot of things in life, to be like, it doesn't matter what another comedian thinks about what I do. It's about whether or not I can put asses in seats, and sell stand-up tickets. You know what I mean? And of course, Lady Gaga is doing just that. But no hate on Carly, because she is reemerging. I was scrolling through my favorite periodical, The Tennessean, and I saw a TV Bachelorette is opening for a Backstreet Boy in Nashville. So Carly's back on the horse here. After 2 kids and a divorce, she is now opening for Nick Carter, amongst others. And good for her. I mean, she's clearly very talented. She released a music video. We'd love to have her on Driving with Dave if anyone wants to put us in touch with her. But let's play a few clips of her on Jason Tartick's Trading Secrets podcast.
It was actually my last cruise ship. My brother's so ridiculous. He's like my best friend, but we used to, at that time it was Skype. Everybody Skyped each other to see each other. And one day he called me on the ship and he's like, I need to Skype with you. And he was like, hey, I heard about this audition for this show called The Bachelor, and I think I'm going to do it. And I was like, you should do it. And he was like, what do I do? And I was like, I don't know, just be yourself. Yeah. And so my brother is just such a ham. So he walks in with a crab costume on. Okay. And he starts singing Under the Sea. And he does it very well.
Under the Sea.
Well, he's yes, but no. He's never done it professionally. Yeah. But he's just such a ham. And so anyway, he got on the season and then started filming when I was on the ship. Okay. And so I got home 4 days or something before.
Wait, Carly's brother was on The Bachelorette? I didn't know that.
For hometown dates.
Okay.
And so I had not seen him in almost a year. It had been 9 months. Mm-hmm. And then he got kicked off when they met us. Okay. We ruined it for him.
So that was your first exposure to the show?
Yes. Yeah. So, they asked my mom to talk to this girl, and she's like, I can't do it. I'm too nervous. Because I guess this girl was like, I think Zach and I are just friends, and we don't know if we can break through the friend zone. And I was like, I'll talk to her about it. I don't care. Yeah. Be like, what? You're making the wrong choice if you just want him as a friend.
Producers was like, that's our girl.
And then they were like, we like her. And so then they asked me to do the next season. They were actually choosing between a couple of people, and my brother was in the running. So I went to the final casting or whatever, and they're like, would you date your brother? I was like, no. And then they were like, would you be wear a fake nose or something and walk around and be with the girls? And I was like, yeah, maybe. But then it ended up being Juan Pablo. And
am I the only one who's just figuring out that her brother was also on the show? Zach Waddell was a contestant on the 9th season of The Bachelorette. He is the older brother of Carly. He married Elizabeth Waddell in 2015. They have 3 children together. Hey, good for them. I don't know. I must have missed this one. This was during the era where I was, out enjoying life, not being obsessed with a bunch of reality stars as we are now. All right, let's skip to the 17:25 mark. I'm just going to cover a few notable moments, but of course, definitely give yourself some time and check out this full interview. It's really good. Of course, as I said, Jason Tartick, he's got sharp cameras he's using, professional audio. I really like the white Shure SM7Bs he's using here with really expensive mic arms. I mean, literally everything about his setup is really, really good.
Zachary Reality's on TikTok. He's like the new reality guy. Anything comes out, he's on it. He sent the question in about, he wanted to know the status of you and Britt, and you guys had some feuds.
God.
Is that a thing?
Good Zachary Reality shout out there.
Oh God, that was so long ago. It's funny to even talk about.
Is it even a thing in 2020?
So Jason's asking Carly if she had a feud with Britt. Britt and Caitlin Bristow were competing to see who was going to be the Bachelorette their season. Of course, they had that one-night standoff. Not their doing. They were pitted against each other. Jason Tartick ends up getting engaged to Caitlin Bristow. They end up breaking up. Caitlin Bristow ends up doing Driving with Dave. It all works out.
3?
No!
Yeah, and all I know about Britt is that her and Caitlin were competing to be the Bachelorette.
No.
I don't know anything else.
Here's the thing. There was so much behind the scenes that no one else sees.
Of course.
Spill it.
That was it was just a pack of lies, and then she would present herself as so different.
Whoa.
And that's my biggest pet peeve in life is when people aren't authentic.
Wow. So Carly's calling Britt inauthentic.
Just drives me crazy. So there was part of me that I didn't, explain things very nicely, and I made fun of her, but it was coming from a place of being so frustrated that I was watching this person just be so not authentic.
It is.
There it is, folks. And of course, then he says, of course, no one likes that. And this is Carly's side. Maybe Britt's authentic. Maybe she's just different in front of people. You know what I mean? Either way, if we ever get Jason on Driving with Dave, I promise you we're going to spend the first 5 minutes talking about hair routines, because Jason's got clearly a strong hair regimen. I, for one, will not be complaining about my flow. It's been actually fantastic lately. I've got a good sheen going for the audio-only listeners. Not afraid to mention it. 38 years young, holding strong. But either way, I digress. Let's go to the 27-minute mark where she talks about going back onto Paradise. So she went to Paradise the first time. This is, Carly's kind of a legend here, because she went onto Paradise in the early days and then went back and then met a guy and then got married.
Okay, that's fair.
And then
I
divorced.
like that. All right, so they end up convincing you to go on.
Somehow. They did.
Did you use this negotiating power you've already talked about to get paid more?
I didn't.
So you got paid the same than you did the year before?
Yeah.
$400 a day.
But again, I was kind of just like, I did not think I would meet anyone. I just was truly like, I'm just going to go because it's something to do right now.
And you had the new guys come through. There's a new season. You didn't have your eye on anyone.
No.
Okay. And then you come off the show and you got engaged on the show.
I did.
No idea that was coming.
No.
None
He actually
whatsoever.
did. Well, that's not true. So
You have to remember, at the time, Evan was considered like schneebly. Like he was, I don't know another word to say, but schneebly. He was kind of a sort of dorky or whatever, and he kind of became more hunky. People started to like him. He was like dad, kind of dad energy. But it was definitely a surprise to me. I didn't think she really was into him at all. But of course, then they kind of like figured it out for the time being, and were a relatively successful couple for a long time there.
So Evan was like really wanting to get married on TV.
Okay.
And I just...
All right, so that's kind of a call out right there, right? So she's calling him a fame whore. No, I'm kidding.
I wasn't thinking about that. Like not that I didn't.
For Evan's first dance song, they wanted to sing Lady Gaga. So she's like, no, we can't.
But that wasn't like something I was looking to do.
Were you against it?
Not against it. I just was like,
I'm in the deep end.
We were already having kind of, like, we came back from Paradise and there was a lot going on in our relationship. So I kind of was like, is this the right thing to do already? And it's just so public, and I don't know. So he, I think, was like, She
was like, I don't want to get married on the show. Next thing you know, they got 2 kids. Hey, that's, but hey, they held on.
I think he asked them.
Till they didn't.
I want to get married on the show. How can we do that?
So he asked them that he tells them he wants to get married on the show. Very interesting. Again, if he has a different sort of memory of this all, I'm sure he'll let it be known. It doesn't really make him look bad, but, look, in my opinion, it's like you met on the TV show. Get married on the dang TV show. If you're going to get paid to get married, you might as well do it on a TV show. I would have gladly gotten married on a TV show if they wanted to pay for the wedding.
Go to your wedding?
We got paid to go to our wedding, and our wedding was paid for.
That's pretty good.
I didn't get to keep my dress, which was kind of sad.
Did you negotiate it?
No.
Did you negotiate your payment?
No.
Interesting. Okay. Can I take a guess on how much they paid you?
Sure.
$25,000.
Either you can tell me the amount, or you can tell me I'm hot, warm, or cold.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
$25,000.
You guys got a talent fee of.
Just throw a number out there. Come on.
10,000 each.
More.
I was gonna say 15 each.
Less.
More.
We got 25 each.
Whoa, 25 each.
Yeah.
Whoa, I thought they got 25 total. They each got 25. So you get to start your marriage. No, one of the biggest reasons marriages don't work is because you're not married to me, someone cool like a YouTuber. I'm kidding. I always tell my wife, I go, you married a YouTuber. I go, you really couldn't do better than me. But then I look at my hair. No, I'm kidding, folks. It's fertile, folks. I got them fertile locks. I don't know if there's any correlation between fertility and hair, but maybe. I don't know. Just imagine sperm with a cowlick. Just how do we get through this ovary? What are we talking about? Golly. Anyway, let's wrap it up there. So they got paid $25,000 each. Good for them. You know what I mean? It obviously didn't work out in the end. If I do move to Tennessee, you're the only 10 I see. Ugh. But if I do move to Tennessee, I will be hounding Carly for an interview. I was actually talking to one Mandrell lady, and Christina Mandrell, and she lives in Tennessee, and I was trying to find which homes to look at, and I ended up putting an offer, my first offer ever. I don't know if I shared this with you guys. I've been talking on the Patreon. If you want to see my wife cry, you got to go on the Patreon, because we put in an offer. We looked at the home Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We looked at this home 3 days in a row. We put our first offer in that we've ever done, thanks to the amazing folks who watch our YouTube channel. It's because of you guys that we can put an offer down on a house. And we found out Monday morning that the offer was rejected because they got a cash offer, and you can't compete with cash. Or you could, but any smart person just takes the cash. And, we had a tier or two, because it was really sad, because we kind of thought we were moving to Tennessee. We thought we found this amazing home we could upgrade and make content, this and that, and it just wasn't in the cards. So who knows where we'll go? We might stay in Los Angeles. Who knows, folks? Either way, big news coming up. I'm going to share it on the Patreon. I was going to share it here, but let's just save it for today's Patreon. Big news regarding content schedules moving forward. All good things, all more content, and we'll talk to you guys in a little bit. This afternoon, I'll be on Bachelor Rush Hour, the afternoon podcast, and I'll give you some updates on all things pop culture. We'll talk to you then. Bye, guys.